Imagine awakening, not to the clamor of the world, but to the gentle whisper of inner peace. Picture your mind, still and clear as a high mountain lake, reflecting the world's beauty, without the slightest ripple of disturbance. In the serene path of Zen Buddhism, this isn't a mere fantasy, but a reachable reality, a way of living, a practice, a gradual unfolding of your true, calm presence. Today, we'll journey together to discover how the timeless wisdom of Zen can help you gently dissolve the roots of negative thoughts, not by battling them with force, but by learning the art of sitting with them, listening with your whole being, seeing them with newfound clarity, and returning, time and again, to the quiet stillness within. The nature of the mind. Zen masters teach us that our minds, in their essence, are boundless, like the vast expanse of the sky. Our thoughts, like the clouds, drift across this expanse, sometimes gentle and luminous, sometimes dark, with storms. But remember, the clouds, no matter how heavy, cannot truly stain the infinite sky. In the same way, your thoughts, even the most painful and persistent, cannot define the vastness and beauty of who you truly are. Negative thinking isn't a flaw, a defect in your being. It's a universal part of the human experience. Yet, our suffering truly begins when we start to believe every thought that arises, hook, line, and sinker. When we cling to the tempestuous storm, forgetting the clear sky that always lies beneath. Zen invites us to observe our thoughts with a gentle detachment, without judgment or entanglement. Imagine a leaf floating gracefully down a flowing stream. We watch our thoughts pass in the same way, with a gentle, compassionate awareness, not with resistance or fear. Awareness is the first step. Awareness is the doorway that swings open to freedom. In the heart of Zen practice, we aren't urged to fight or suppress our thoughts, but to simply watch them, as you'd watch ripples expand and fade in a pool of still water. When a painful thought emerges, "I'm not good enough. I'll never change." We don't wrestle with it. We gently notice its presence. We inquire within, where does this thought reside in my body? What emotions accompany it? What old stories does it whisper? Through this simple act of mindful awareness, we create a precious space, a space between our true selves and the thought itself. And within that space, something wonderful begins to blossom. A quiet clarity. The gentle light of awareness begins to soften the sharp edges, the harsh grip of old, ingrained patterns. Thoughts that once seemed so solid begin to loosen, like mist, dissolving in the warm embrace of the morning sun. Mindfulness as the anchor. In a world that constantly pulls us in 1,000 different directions, mindfulness becomes our anchor, our center, our grounding. In Zen, this means being deeply, fully present in each moment, returning to the simple rhythm of our breath, the sensation of our feet on the earth, the sound of the wind whispering through the trees. The breath becomes our refuge, our home, a safe, simple place to which we can always return when the mind becomes a noisy whirlwind. When negative thoughts begin to swell, like powerful waves rising in the ocean, we don't try to swim harder, to fight against the tide. Instead, we drop our anchor. We breathe deeply. Each inhale is an arrival, a settling. Each exhale, a gentle letting go. We don't try to escape our feelings, to push them away. Instead, we meet them with quiet stillness, with a steady and compassionate gaze. In walking meditation, each step becomes a prayer, a mindful act of reverence. In sitting meditation, the silence becomes our most profound teacher. These practices aren't escapes from life, but rather deep encounters with it. They are ways to meet life exactly as it is, with clarity, compassion, and an open heart. Compassion starts with the self. So many of us are quick to offer kindness and gentleness to others, yet we treat ourselves with harshness and judgment. Zen reminds us that true compassion always begins within. When the voice of our inner critic rises up, shaming, blaming, judging, we take a moment to pause, and instead of meeting it with more criticism, we offer it kindness, understanding, and forgiveness. Think for a moment. How would you speak to a child who is hurting, who is filled with fear? Would you yell at them, or would you hold them close? Speak to them softly. Remind them of their inherent worth and beauty. This is how we learn to treat our own mind, our own heart, with tenderness, with patience, with unwavering forgiveness. Zen doesn't promise us a life free from stumbling, from falling down, but it lovingly reminds us that we always have the power to rise again, gently, with grace. Each new moment is a new beginning, a clean slate. You are not defined by your mistakes, by your past. You are the vast, luminous awareness that sees them, and that awareness, in its essence, is always kind, always compassionate. Detachment and letting go. One of the most essential teachings in Zen is the concept of impermanence. Everything comes into being, and everything passes away. Our suffering is often deepened by holding on too tightly. When we replay the same painful stories in our minds, when we cling to the same limiting fears, and when we resist the natural, ever-changing flow of life. Letting go isn't about becoming numb or indifferent. It's about loosening our grip, seeing a thought or an emotion for what it truly is, a passing guest. Zen teaches us that we don't have to invite every guest to stay. We can bow to it, acknowledge its arrival, and then, with gentle detachment, watch it leave. When we stop clinging, when we release our tight hold, something miraculous happens. Space returns. Freedom returns. Life begins to flow through us once again. Not around us, but through us. Like a river, finding its way to the vast ocean. The power of loving kindness. At the very heart of Zen lies the practice of metta, loving kindness. This practice begins quietly, gently. We sit, we breathe, and we silently offer ourselves well wishes. May I be safe. May I be free from suffering. May I be filled with peace and happiness. Then, we extend that same loving kindness to others, to those we cherish, to those with whom we struggle, and even to those we don't know at all. It's like lighting a single candle and then using its flame to light countless others. The more love and kindness we offer, the more light fills the entire world. This practice not only transforms how we see others, but how we see ourselves. The harsh voice of judgment begins to soften. The clenched heart begins to open, and slowly, gently, positivity grows, not from denial or force, but from a deep, ever-flowing wellspring of quiet, unconditional love. The gift of impermanence. Impermanence, the ever-changing nature of life, is one of our greatest and most profound teachers. Zen reminds us that no joy lasts forever, but equally important, neither does any pain. Like the seasons, everything changes, everything shifts. Like the tide, everything moves in a constant rhythm. When we truly remember this, we stop fighting the flow of life. Sadness doesn't have to be a solid wall, an insurmountable obstacle. It can be a river, flowing, moving, eventually finding its way to the sea. Change doesn't have to be feared. It can be embraced as an opportunity for growth, for transformation. This is why Zen values the present moment with such depth and reverence, because it is fleeting, precious, and unrepeatable, and because within this single moment lies the fullness, the richness of life. A smile, the warmth of a cup of tea, the quiet, steady rhythm of our breath. Nothing lasts forever, and therefore, everything becomes sacred, imbued with a profound beauty. Integration into daily life. Zen wisdom isn't meant to remain confined to the meditation cushion. It's meant to be lived, to be embodied in every aspect of our daily lives. Start small, gently. In the morning, before the rush of tasks and worries, pause. Take a deep breath. Set a gentle intention for the day. Today, I will practice patience. Today, I will breathe before I speak. These small, seemingly insignificant shifts have the power to transform your entire day. And over time, they shape the very landscape of your life. Each kind thought, each mindful step becomes a part of a larger, ongoing transformation, not dramatic or loud, but steady, lasting, and deeply meaningful. We don't chase after positivity or try to force it. We plant it like a seed. We tend to it with care, and with patience, it blooms. Zen does not promise a life without sorrow. It offers a path through sorrow, with dignity, with calm, with presence. A path where even pain becomes a teacher, and even struggle opens the heart. If something in this teaching touched you, I invite you to subscribe and continue to reflect with us. Which moment spoke most deeply to your heart? What will you begin today? You don't need to change your whole life, just your relationship with this one moment. And that begins with a breath. Let us walk this path together, gently, one step, one breath, one moment at a time.